Launch Your Voice, your personal guide to loving your voice.
Hi, and welcome to Launch Your Voice. I am Tallulah Breslin, and I use she, her pronouns. This is the place where we help you love your voice, but we know there's a lot more to gender expression than just voice and communication. Today, I am very excited to invite Abi Strong, she, her, to join us. Abi has a background as an image consultant, a wearable art designer, and a speech language specialist like myself. I'm really excited to have you here, Abi. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tallulah.
Yeah. What initially got you interested in the interplay between fashion and gender expression?
Well, I originally went to school for fashion design in New York City. I've always had a passion for art and design and have always just had a particular fascination with fashion and visual presentation and how you can just completely change your look based on what you put on yourself. But I found the fashion industry wasn't quite fulfilling enough for me. And I still always had a part of me that uh, felt really passionate about helping other people. I've grown up with LGBTQ friends and family members, and the LGBTQ community has always held a special place in my heart. I've always been passionate about um, working with and serving this population. And when I got into grad school and I learned about trans voice feminization, and I just loved the idea of being able to help the LGBTQ community um, communicate more effectively. And then it occurred to me that communication is not just verbal. They say over 60% of all communication is nonverbal. And so I found myself getting passionate about helping gender diverse people express themselves, not just with their voice, but with their presentation, and also to really embody their appearance and to feel confident in it. I'm also studying to become a yoga teacher, and so I love being able to give my clients a sense of embodiment so that they feel confident and calm and grounded and centered in what they wear, and to help them tap into their most authentic version of themselves that they can be and to present to others.
So, at different points in our lives or our breast development, we have different sized chests. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts of different types of necklines and shirt shapes that might accent or fill in space or draw attention away from, depending on what the person is looking to accomplish with their shirt.
Mm-hmm. So when we talk about necklines and the bust, I mean, our body's all connected, right? So it's hard to isolate how you can make the bust neckline look different ways, because that's going to be different for everyone, and everyone's going to have different ideals of what they want to accentuate, what they want to downplay, because this is close to your shoulders, your arms. And then, what kinds of accessories are you going to wear? Might change depending on the neckline. So that's really a very, very individual.
So I've seen some people recommend that when you're early on in your breast development, that ruffled shirts might help make it look like there's more there than there is. Is that something you would recommend, or is there a different type of fashion that might help?
Yeah, I think ruffles or any kind of texture, but also the cut of the shirt is going to make a difference. Um, some shirts, tops are a lot more fitted than others. So if you're trying to accentuate your bust size, you might want to go for a curvier kind of top. And some tops are fuller at the top than they are at the bottom. So yeah, just not just the texture of the shirt, but the overall what we call the silhouette of it.
Cool. What about if you want to de-accentuate wider shoulders?
Hmm. Okay. So lower necklines can help uh, minimize the appearance of the shoulders, longer sleeves, and looser sleeves, and especially like bell shaped sleeves. So ones that are kind of a little more fitted and then flare at the wrist area. Um, yeah, halter tops are good. So the ones with the straps going around the neck. Um, those are all gonna help to downplay shoulder size.
Those are some really great ideas. What about, I know that some of the ladies I know like to wear longer shirts so it helps cover up any undesired extras down below. Do you have any fashion tips for styling longer shirts?
Yeah, so I like to wear longer tops like tunics, really. So pair them with some leggings, uh, some some boots, and if you want to give those tops to still have a more fitted appearance. You can add a belt to accentuate the waistline a little bit more. Um, but yeah, tunic tops are good, or even really short dresses with leggings. Um, that's yeah. I wear a lot of longer tops myself, and that's the way I like to wear them. It's also very comfortable too, very versatile. Um, I'll keep my leggings on when I do yoga, and then just change my top when I get ready for work, and can be a very very versatile look.
Are there good color combinations that tend to maybe draw the attention more or deflect attention a little bit more?
Yeah, so when it comes to colors, that's also something that's very individual. So I would encourage anyone to wear the colors that they like, that they're drawn to, and that you feel like uh, helps you more fully express yourself. But also with feminine style, we tend to pair our coloring with our own natural coloring. So our skin tones, hair. Um, and so that's gonna can influence the kinds of colors that will complement your own natural coloring. And then also, colors are very affected by seasons and by trends. Um, so, um, but as far as colors that draw or don't draw attention, I think really there aren't. I wouldn't say there are specific colors that draw more attention or don't. It's when you don't convey feeling comfortable with the colors that you wear. So that's why it's really important to take the time to figure out not only what colors complement your natural colors, but what colors you feel comfortable in and that you feel really express your most authentic version of yourself.
Can you talk a little bit about how the undertones in your skin affect what colors will highlight your skin tone?
So we've all got, the color of our skin based on our race, but then within our race, many skin tones within that, and then undertones within that as well. So, like for myself, I'm very, very pale Caucasian, but there are many shades of fair skin as well. So I tend to have more reddish undertones. So that's kind of what makes red hair complement my skin tones. But then I don't really wear much red on the rest of my body because I've already got the red here. And so then, but I do tend to wear a lot of earth tone colors because earth tone colors go good with reddish colors. So yeah, so just looking at your skin and looking for, yeah, the overall shade, pale, darker, medium, olive, whatever it is. And then, yeah, just looking for those subtle undertone variations within that and kind of pulling out some of that coloring into your hair, your makeup, and then from there, choosing the rest of the colors you wear to complement that.
I love the idea of a capsule wardrobe where you have pieces that will intermix with one another and get lots of styles out of fewer items. I think I have heard that long tunic style shirts or short dresses are really useful for having, especially if they're shaping, helps give good shape as well. And leggings are one option with that, and I think skinny pants as well. But if you were trying to fill out a capsule wardrobe, adding on to those types of items, what do you think would help fill it in?
Good question. So I think it's good to have. I think I mentioned before when we're talking about style and image, we think about the term silhouette. So that's the overall look from head to toe. So your body, how it looks with the clothing, and just the whole package. So when you look at a silhouette like of a tunic top and leggings, so we have a long top with narrower legs. But if you're trying to create a capsule wardrobe that encompasses different styles for different settings, right? Because the tunic top and leggings that might work for your job or for a family function, but you want to have something in there for when you're going to like more formal events, like a wedding. So maybe a cocktail dress, something that's a little bit more formal. And then, something that is, maybe just very casual. Like if you're, going to the park with some friends, then, you might want more shorts and a tank top. And those would kind of be my top things. If I were to put my clothing in a capsule, I would definitely have probably a couple different dresses because one's going to be a little bit more formal, one, maybe for something not as formal as a wedding, but like a friend's birthday party out on the town. It's going to be a slightly different kind of dress. And I have some shorts and a top for something very casual, the leggings and the tunic top, and probably some jeans. I'm not the biggest fan of jeans, but they have a place, and I think and they're very versatile too. You can dress them up or down with whatever top and accessories you put with them.
I am wearing jeans right now. So I want to go back to formal wear because I had a couple of questions about that. So
Yeah.
I think sometimes we have sort of one-off formal events when maybe we don't have many others in our life we go to. Are there any tips that you have for how to take something that you already own and make it look more formal?
So when we talk about different kinds of dress, it really depends a lot on the material, right? So jeans are more casual overall. You can dress them up or down to an extent. Um, and then the material of something that you're going to wear to the park is going to be probably a little bit more durable, or maybe more conducive to warmer weather, depending on the time of the year. And so with formal wear, it's going to be, typically different kinds of material, maybe chiffon, satin, something of that sort. Um, so that so with formal wear, it's a little bit more challenging to change, where uh, when or where you can wear it, depending on the specific clothing item. But I would say, yeah, probably materials more like chiffon or lace. Those can be a little bit more interchangeable to where if you're wearing them formally, maybe you just wear it with, bare legs and some high heels and, some fancy long earrings. And then if you want to make it a little bit more casual, you can wear it with flatter shoes or, and again, leggings. I love leggings. you can wear them under so many things, and it can make your look more casual.
How does age affect style and fashion and clothing choices?
So, um, on one hand, I don't like to put age limits on what we wear. That's definitely our own individual choice. But just if we don't dress like our age, it's just gonna make us more noticeable. So, depending on if that matters to you or not, that can determine if you should dress your age. So yeah, and again, I think that's something that when you grow up cisgender for whatever reason, it's just well, yeah, I think again, it's just experiential because many cis women growing up in our younger years go through that phase where maybe we might show a lot of cleavage and wear a lot of tight clothes and dress a little bit sexier, and then as we get older we might kind of get past that stage. Not all the time. As some cis women have the opposite process, but it's just kind of each person finding their own happy medium. So um, so yeah, I think again, it's just important for everyone to experiment, and yeah, just start noticing. What do you see people in their 30s around you wearing versus feminine style in 50s or 15.
I love this idea of color is for everyone. and fashion is for everyone, and clothing is for everyone. But I do think that there are certain types of styles and fashion that tend to be perceived as particular gender. And I'd love to hear any tips you have for ways to mix it up that aren't adding a layer of gender onto our dress.
That's such a good point. And, I'm actually seeing for several months now in Vogue magazine, which has been the industry standard for fashion ideals. They're having more and more gender diverse models and celebrities in the magazine, and really bending the traditional, um, formerly perceived gender roles. So really, I mean, yeah, I think that can go for gender too. It's anything can be made to look masculine. Anything can be made to look feminine, or any any variation in between there, or anywhere in the spectrum. So, and it's not to say that like if you want to look more feminine, let's say, that everything about your appearance has to look what's considered to be feminine, because there are so many different ideas of what can be considered feminine. And so you can pick and choose. It's long hair isn't necessarily feminine. It depends on, like, there are ways to wear short hair with different long earrings or makeup and other things, or everything else that you're wearing. So yeah, I definitely am all about defying those traditional standards of what different genders have to look like.
Speaking of hair, I know that sometimes we have short hair that's growing out to be long hair. In my personal experience, I once had bangs that I was trying to grow out, but I think sometimes the hair all over is short. Are there any styling tips that you can advise for people who are growing out some or all of their hair when it's at that horribly awkward length?
Yeah, definitely been there. um, so yeah, I mean, if they're bangs, depending on the length, they make cute barrettes you can use to kind of hold them back, or style them in a way that's maybe gently sweeping across your forehead. And for the all over growth, I am all about hats. I personally hate fixing my hair, so I do the most minimal amount of effort to fix my hair. So I wear lots of hats so that I don't have to fix my hair. And there are so many cute hats, so many different styles. And then also just head scarves, wraps, all sorts of things that look really cute anyway. So yeah, I'd recommend, there's so many different hair accessories that can make that whole process not only easier but fun.
I love the idea of headscarves and hats as alternative ways to be able to be comfortable with how you're wearing your hair, but not requiring you to put on a wig or someone else's hair. I think that that's pretty fab. Um, Speaking about pockets, if someone's choosing to wear a more fitted pair of pants that doesn't have larger pockets, maybe came from the feminine dress section, but they're not wanting to wear a purse because that would feel feminine to them, what's a good middle ground way to bring their things with them?
Well, I mean, purses don't have to be strictly feminine. My husband is cisgender male, and he has I call them a merce. a man purse, or that's the term that was used for a while, like a messenger style bag. So there are plenty of options like that, or fanny packs might be a little bit more more on the feminine side, but I think it really depends on the individual kind, or they've got some more like feminine style like backpack kinds of purses. So there are lots of options besides just the stereotypical purse.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the helpful parts of a longer shirt or tunic is that it does cover your hip area. And when you're wearing shorter or tighter clothing, you don't as easily have that option. Do you have any advice for tucking your gaffs to make it easier to wear a smoother fit shirt?
So yeah, I mean, you don't just have to focus on the shirt. If you're comfortable wearing dresses or skirts, there are lots of looser fitting dresses and skirts that can minimize that area as well, especially like textured skirts, dirndl skirts, they're called, where they kind of like flare out and have ruffles, or pleated skirts. Yeah, there are, looser pants, like palazzo style pants, which are very loose and flowy. And yeah, there are many other options to draw attention away from that area.
So sometimes people are a little bit taller and they want to draw attention away from that height. Do you think that there's a way to balance height with clothing?
Yeah, absolutely. So shorter articles of clothing are going to minimize the height. So if you're trying to downplay your height, I wouldn't be wearing like a floor length dress, anything that tends to be longer. So maybe more like crop tops, and then if you're not comfortable exposing your belly, then you can wear like a higher waisted bottom with them, or shorter dresses. Just shorter articles of clothing in general are going to help you downplay height.
I have heard rumors that men's clothing has very set sizes where it says this number is a length and this number is a width, and I cannot even imagine something so logical because women's sizes are not. Depending on what store I go into, there's a different size. Even within that store, maybe a different system than other stores have. What is the best way to navigate this confusing world of women's sizing?
Very good question. Really, it's just gonna depend on each clothing brand, because what size you might be in one brand, you might be a different size in another brand. So the best thing to do if you're comfortable with it is whatever store you're shopping in. Anywhere you go, they will give you a free fitting, and then they will be able to tell you exactly what size you need. But if you are shopping online, or you don't feel comfortable getting fitted by someone else, then you can take a tape measure and you can measure the widest diameter around your bust, and you want to include, if you're using padding or anything, what that measurement is, including anything like that. The smallest portion of your waist and the widest portion of your hips, And then if you look at size charts, like if you're shopping online, if you just click on an item you're interested in, somewhere usually where where you can select the size, it'll have a place to click on to pull up that company's particular size chart. And it'll show those measurements. So you can see, okay, if your bust waist measurement is within this range, then you'll probably be this size. But yeah, that is, those would be the general guidelines. But again, it's going to vary a lot from brand to brand.
That's really great, Abby. I love the work that you do. If
you.
one of my clients was interested in working with an image consultant, what's the best way that they could get in touch with you?
Yeah, so first of all, you can check out my website. It's strongstylesolutions.com. And it has my contact information on there. Or you can email me directly at Abi, ABI, at strongstylesolutions.com. And you can also follow me on Instagram to see some of my own looks I put together and some of my other wearable art that I sold. And you can find me on Instagram at and on Facebook at Strong Style Solutions.
That is lovely. You are very much in social media these days. It is where we spend our time.
Yes.
Yeah, I am so glad that you came here, and I know that the people who are going to watch this will really benefit from the knowledge that you had to share. And I am myself, I am thinking about the different types of things I should be doing with my own fashion. I'm a little out of habit, but we're all starting to venture into the world, and it's exciting to explore fashion again. Thank you. Yeah, thank you again for coming. I'm Tallulah Breslin with Mantra Voice, and y'all have a lovely evening.
Hey, thank you. You too.
Remember to like, subscribe, and click that bell so you get notifications. Mantra Voice, your personal guide to loving your voice. I'm Tallulah Breslin. See you next time.